What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at the all-new 2025 Subaru Forester. Now, the trim we're going to be looking at today is the Touring trim, so this is the top of the line trim. It's going to have all your bells and whistles, and we're going to talk about everything here on this all-new 2025 Forester. As you can probably tell, if you're familiar, it's been redesigned, sort of. Like, don't get me wrong, there's a lot of new stuff here, and we're going to talk about all of it, but it still feels very much like a Forester, and maybe that's what you want, and that's great. Some of the things that I really wish they would have changed, they didn't, but there are some nice new additions, and let's go ahead and just start up front and talk about all of them. So one thing that hasn't changed is under the hood. This has basically the same engine. It's a 2.5 liter boxer engine. It's going to have 182 horsepower, 178 pound-feet of torque, which is exactly what you get on something like the Crosstrek. 32 miles per gallon highway, 25 miles per gallon city. Now, previously you had 176 pound-feet of torque, and you've got 2 extra pound-feet of torque now. So we'll see. And we'll get it out on the road, do a test drive, and I'll talk about my impressions of it. But in the limited experience I've had driving it so far, feels about the same. Now up front, you're gonna have a redesigned headlight cluster. Interesting design. So it used to kind of protrude a little bit more out at an angle with a point. Now it kind of cuts off really harshly. It is a full LED steering responsive headlight kit, and I think it looks really nice, very modern. And then you've got LED fog lights down here at the bottom. Again, that ice silver metallic color that runs across. There are some new color options. There's a river rock color that looks really nice. It's almost like a matte gray, but it's got some metallic-y flakes and kind of gives off this kind of tan hue in certain lights. It's really cool. I'll definitely be making a video with that color here soon, so hit subscribe. But you got a little body colored accent wing here, which is really cool. I like that they did this stock because that has not been like that before. Usually you just have little like gunmetal gray wings or things like that. Big Subaru badge in the center. You do have a front facing camera that works with your 360-degree surround view camera option. If I'm not mistaken, the Ascent was the first full Subaru model to have 360-degree cameras, but now you do have it here on the Forester. But it pulls a lot from Toyota, as you'll see inside with the kind of animations it does. So you can thank Toyota for that probably. Then you've got some more body colored accent and then more cladding down at the bottom. It's a little bit different cladding than we're used to seeing on some Subaru models. It's not real textured. It's a nice smooth plastic, but you do get a little bit of a textured bit down here at the bottom with these little accent pieces. And overall, like the front grille, I like it. It's very clean, but it gives me like major kind of like Honda vibes, maybe even some Ford vibes. It's got some like Ford Explorer look to it and some Honda Pilot look to it. I don't know. It's not my favorite. I really like the Sport though, and we'll be taking a look at that on the channel soon. But let me know what you guys think about this redesigned front grille down in the comments. I'm interested to get your all's opinions. Up top, you've got your advanced eyesight driver assist system. That's going to give you all of your standard Subaru safety features and things like lane assist and your adaptive cruise control. Now you've got some nice cladding here up over the wheel wells, a little bit of passive airflow here. And the Forester Touring here is sitting on these 19-inch two-tone dark gray machine finished wheels. They look really nice. They have kind of this little squiggly pattern on the sides here to give it some nice contrast. Now, as far as the side mirrors go, these are a gloss black side mirror. They're a nice contrast piece to this ice silver metallic color. They're manual folding, but they do have blind spot monitoring built in. They're heated, and they have a turn signal here. And then, of course, you're going to have your camera up underneath that works with that 360 camera view. Keyless access is exactly the same here on the door panels. Put your hand inside to unlock, then put your finger on this pad to lock it up. Some accent trim at the bottom with that same little textured element I was talking about. Up top, you've got gloss black low profile roof rails, and then you have a panoramic sunroof up top. It's not really that large. It just kind of extends into the back a little bit. All right, so moving to the back of the Forester, again, major kind of Honda vibes, Ford vibes for me. You know, it doesn't look terrible. It feels like the whole vehicle sits a lot lower than it used to, which is weird because it has the same exact ground clearance at 8.7 inches. Maybe it's just a feeling thing, but it seems lower to me, especially here in the back. I'm not exactly sure why, but you've got some redesigned taillights here. They're very intricate, lots of little design accents and little elements and things, and they kind of wrap around the back here. They have a gloss black piece that runs across connecting them. No light bar on the Forester here. Little tiny Subaru badge in the center here, and then they went with the word mark Forester kind of stamped into the back. Again, gives me those Honda vibes, the Ford vibes a little bit. Touring badging, Subaru badging. Something you'll notice if you've watched my videos in the past, I tend to kind of complain a lot about how many badges they put back here. And they've kind of fixed it a little bit, but they didn't get rid of the badges. They just repositioned them. So I can't give them too much credit, but instead of having, you know, the Forester badge somewhere over here or something like that, or wherever, they went ahead and stamped it into the back. So kind of cheating. They just moved it a little bit, kind of helped it blend in a little bit, which I'm not mad about entirely. But then they usually have the symmetrical all-wheel drive badging. I think it's usually over there. Instead, they put it on the side of the vehicle here in this really awkward little nameplate thing on the side. I think it looks terrible. If there was a way you could remove this, I would definitely take that off because it looks really cheap and tacky. And it looks like a demo vehicle, like when they send press vehicles out and they kind of label everything. That's what it looks like, and I don't like it. I don't know what we do about that. There it is. There's your symmetrical all-wheel drive badging. Now you've got tinted rear glass, nice big wiper, little body-colored spoiler here. You do have your rear camera, bumper applique here, a little bit of a textured piece, ultrasonic sensors, more of that little textured accent elements that we had in the front. The exhaust is over on the right side, and then you actually have an easy open liftgate with a kicking feature. So in the past, they've gone with like a waving feature in front of the badge. Now you actually kick your foot. So I think it's like right around this area. You kind of swing your foot around over there, and it's going to go ahead and open up. And then we can get access to all of this cargo space. So inside here, we've got all kinds of goodies. We've got a cargo shade here. We've got a cargo net. We've got our all-weather liners here, our cloth liners as well that have all of our touring badging on them. You've got little toggles to drop your second row seats. You've got 12-volt outlet. You do have some underfloor storage here, and it looks like we do have a spare tire, all your tools down there. And you've got a lot of nice little details. That's one of the things that I really like about what they've done with the Forester here is they've given it so much texture and character and things that was really lacking in the past. So you've got little textured pieces here with some little designs. You've got a really cool Subaru piece up underneath here with some nice designs. You've even got a little LED light here. Smart rear view mirror camera up under here. There's textures on everything. All of the speaker grills and everything just has intricacy, and I like that. Now with the second row seats folded up, you're gonna get 28 cubic feet of cargo space. If we use the little toggles here and drop those second row seats, all that space is gonna go to about 69 cubic feet of cargo space. We can go ahead and close her up with the button here and hop inside. All right, so here inside the cabin of the Forester, there's definitely some things you'll notice that are different or at least freshly updated. And there's some things that I really, really like in here that I'm surprised that they actually changed and I'm definitely grateful for. And of course, there's quite a few things that didn't change that I really wish they would have, but we'll get to all of it and then we'll take it for a quick test drive. But let's start over here with the door materials. So very kind of standard Subaru door materials, some accent pieces that I think are really nice. So you've got some soft touch rubber up top and you've got a little bit of textured kind of a leatherette material. And then you have some really nice like Alcantara feel on the door panels, which is a very welcomed change. I really like that. It feels very premium, very nice on the door panels here. Got it on both sides as well. And then it goes to more of that textured plastic. And then everything as you'd expect on a Subaru from knees down is just hard stamped plastic. That's okay. We're complementing it with some nice pieces and I like that. You've got all of your window controls over here. You've got two-way position memory for your seats. The only thing I don't love about this door panel is this gloss black plastic, but thankfully one of the things that they changed here is got rid of the majority of it. It's only in a couple places and I'll point those out as we go along, but for the most part it's not bad. You've got a trunk button here, your brightness control for your displays, and then you've got your kick to open for the trunk. You can turn that on or off. Got some vents here, and then over the top of the dash you've kind of got a combo of hard black plastic and then some soft touch elements as well. Really nice little kind of textured rubber leather bit over the glove box area with some accent stitching, little brushed, almost like a wood accent piece, and then hard black plastic all the way down. A nice wrapped steering wheel here with some accent stitching as well. It is heated, and you've got some nice little elements to it. I like the little black pops that they put on here. It is gloss black, so you might want to keep a microfiber to kind of clean that off since you are going to be kind of contacting it all the time, but I think it looks pretty nice. Subaru badge in the center. You've got all of your media controls on the left side, and then all of your adaptive cruise control and lane centering plus SI drive buttons on the right side with your heated steering wheel button option behind the steering wheel. Paddle shifters on the back as always, turn signal and lights on the left side, wipers on the right side, and then past the steering wheel you've got two analog gauges and then one little color driver cluster in the center. This is one of the things I really wish they would have changed. I really wish they would have modernized a little bit more and given you a full digital display option at the very least, maybe just on the highest trim levels like this Touring here. Unfortunately, it basically looks identical from last year. Speaking of identical from last year, you've got this 11.6-inch driver infotainment display plus your little driver focus distraction mitigation system plus driver profiles up here with these little sensors here. So this has gone unchanged. What I mean by that is that it still looks exactly the same and it still functions exactly the same, and that is extremely laggy. Again, I've talked about this in great detail in some of my other videos, but Subaru has one of the better looking systems out there, not top tier, but like maybe maybe like B tier, C tier looking systems, all things considered. The functionality is abysmal, super laggy. Anytime you want to do any kind of complex movements, like on the navigation, like a twist or a pivot or something, zooming in and out, it's so laggy, so stuttery, even dragging and sliding around, switching between apps. I think I showed this off on the new 2025 Outback. So if you want to learn about the Outback Wilderness for 2025, check out that video. But I was like pressing the radio button and it took like 10 presses to open. Stuff like that. That's what it does. It's just not good, and I don't think they did anything to fix it, unfortunately. But you've got navigation, Bluetooth, Apple CarPlay and Android Auto built in, my Subaru on-screen climate controls, valet mode, heated and ventilated seats. But like I said, you do have a 360-degree camera system. So if we push this view button here, we can see this 360 view. And what it basically does is kind of what it does on the Solterra, which is that it just like pivots around to different views, and you can pause it with this button here, and then manually switch the views by clicking it one view at a time. So unfortunately, you can't like just grab it and kind of pivot around it like you can on other systems out there. But another thing you can do is if you put the vehicle in reverse, you can switch between these different rear camera views. So you can see like a 360 view with your backup camera, with your ultrasonic sensor view, or you can click it, just get the backup camera, or you can click it and just get the 360 overhead view, and you can let that go when you're trying to park in those tight spots. So really helpful for that for sure. Now, I can't entirely confirm this, but it does seem like the rear camera quality is better. I don't know if they just took Toyota's cameras and put them on the Subaru to make them better because Subaru's was so bad, or if Subaru's upgraded their cameras overall. I'm not sure, but it definitely looks better in my opinion than it did on the 2025 Outback that I just took a look at, like I was mentioning. Props to them if they did prioritize the cameras because they were really bad before. Now, like I said, you do have your driver monitoring system, and you can set up users, so you can do custom seating positions, custom mirror positions, custom radio stations, things like that with that system. And I've talked about that in my secret features video, and I'm going to be making a secret features video for the 2025 Forester, so hit subscribe so you don't miss that. Now down here you do have a Qi-enabled wireless charging pad, one 3.5mm jack, one USB-C port, one USB-A port. Your Lineartronic CVT shift knob is right here. Now it's really, really tiny, like almost comically tiny. I think that's pretty funny. It is surrounded by gloss black plastic, which is a big no-no in my opinion. I mean, this is a brand new vehicle. This has 17 miles on it. It's covered in dust and fingerprints and little specks of who knows what, and it's just really hard to clean. Keep a microfiber cloth in your glove box. But you do have a little bit of kind of accent around the bottom, this little kind of material with some accent stitching, electronic parking brake, and then your camera view button, like I said. 2 cup holders. They're nice big cup holders. They fit my giant water bottle, which is great. 12-volt outlet here, little textured pocket behind that, and a nice little tiny center console here. But you do get this little removable tray. So if you want that, you can put it just like that, get like 2 levels of storage, and then if you want it out of the way, you can slide it down in here like that and get a little bit of a different layout inside here. It's not huge, but functional. And you do have a standard glove box over here with all of your manuals in it. Now, as far as the seating surfaces go, these are kind of a 2-way leather appointed seat with these nice suede inserts here, very similar to this kind of Alcantara feeling we have on the door panels. You've got little inserts of it here on the seating surfaces, perforations down the center for driver and passenger and rear passengers as well. So some nice airflow there. The driver and passenger are heated and ventilated. The driver is a 10-way power adjustable with 2-way lumbar. The passenger is an 8-way power adjustable seat. Again, heated and ventilated. Driver has 2-way position memory. You also get heated seats in the back for outboard passengers. Now with these nice seating surfaces, you did get a little bit of an updated design to them. You have some upgraded bolsters on the sides. So this isn't a sporty vehicle necessarily, but it's nice that it kind of hugs you a little bit better here. So if you are a little bit heavier or wider, just keep that in mind that it does have some pretty aggressive bolsters on the side for better support on your left and right. Up top again, you've got your eyesight cameras here, and then you do have a smart rear view mirror camera. So we've seen this on some other Subarus in the past, but I don't think it's ever been available on the Forester. So now we have it here on the Forester. You can toggle between a standard rear view mirror here, and then you can flick this switch, get a rear view mirror camera, which is really nice. I like this a lot. Sunglasses holder up top here, some LED dome lights, sunroof controls here for that. Woof. Wow, that makes it so much hotter in here so fast. For that panoramic sunroof there, boom, blast yourself with God's light there. Black liner up top. For the climate control, it is a dual zone automatic climate control, and you do have rear vents for your second row passengers, plus a Harman Kardon audio system. Now, one other thing I did want to mention that's new, and we'll take a look at this on the test drive, is this new electronic power steering rack. Subaru says that it shares some similar components to the WRX, but from what I've read, it doesn't really feel anything like the WRX. Keep that in mind, but apparently this is a new electronic power steering rack, dual pinion. So we'll see about that, and we'll test it out on the test drive here in just a bit. All right, so hopping here into the second row seats here. As you'd expect with the Forester, you're gonna get some really nice passenger volume. You've got room to put your feet up underneath. Got a nice bit of rear leg room here. I had this seat pretty far back. You could push this thing up and get even better leg room here. Good headroom. Roof doesn't slope very much, but you do have just a little bit here to give you that extra, space there. You've got 3 mat pockets, which we're used to seeing on the back of these Subarus here. Door materials surprisingly kind of continue from the back, so you still get those little suede inserts with the leatherette with the accent stitching, hard black plastic down from that. Handles here, dome lights here. You can fold this center console down, get 2 more cup holders covered by gloss black plastic, so you can get them as dirty as possible if you want to. You've got rear vents, like I said, heated seats for outboard passengers, 1 USB-C port, 1 USB-A port, but you do continue that kind of suede accent little pieces on the side, so really comfortable seats back here. You could fit 3 kids back here, no problem. 2 adults are gonna be plenty comfortable for a long drive. Impressive, and you still get great storage space even with these seats up. Let's take the Forester for a little test drive. Really no changes here as far as how this thing's gonna drive. 2.5 liter boxer engine, 182 horsepower, 178 pound-feet of torque. All right, ready? To the floor. Ah, that was 45. That took a long time. Again, I'm not surprised. It always takes this long. It's just one of those things that I really wish they would have just given you a little extra oomph or just another engine option. Having that 2.4 liter turbo would just be so impactful on something that's this size. Even more so, like I've said on the Crosstrek, but over here on the Forester, smaller body, a little bit lighter, would be really nice to have that and just have a little bit of extra horsepower in that 260 range as opposed to that 180 range, which again just feels really, really lethargic. So overall, like acceleration, you've got the CVT lag, so that's something to keep in mind, and then just not a lot of horsepower. Just not the most exhilarating driving experience. But let's talk about all the other stuff that Subaru has changed. So again, the interior has been kind of just refreshed, buttoned up, some nice accent and contrast points throughout the cabin. And there's some other interior color options that you can get. Again, this is the all black interior with some kind of gray accents and some wood trim. You can get a brown interior as well, which looks really nice. On the Sport, you can get some bronze accents, not only on the interior, but also some really cool bronze wheels. So we'll definitely be taking a look at a Sport model on this channel very, very soon. So hit subscribe, you don't want to miss that. Again, you don't really get any other kind of Sport changes as far as performance goes outside of just looks. May as well look at a Touring, right? So let's talk about 3 things that I like and 3 things that I don't like as much about the redesigned 2025 Subaru Forester. First and foremost, something I really, really like is having ventilated seats. It is a miserably hot day today, and it's not even that bad. It's only like 84 right now. The humidity is unbelievable, and just being able to leave these AC seats on and hop in here and feel that just not sticky, sweaty back seat, hot seat. It's just nice and cool, and you sit down and you feel a little bit of that breeze. Love that. Can't beat that. Number 2 is some of the exterior design updates. Some of it I don't like. Some of it I think looks too much like a Ford and like a Honda, like I mentioned, and I'm not a big fan of either of those brands and their design, so seeing Subaru kind of fall in line with something similar to that, not my favorite overall. But some of the stuff I think looks really nice. I think the taillight redesign looks nice. I think the headlight redesign looks nice. The front end is a little meh to me. Overall, I don't think the shape is terrible. It's going to be your preference, really. But inside, a lot of the little accents and contrast things they put I really like. I like this suede on the door panels and on the seats. I like the little textured bit above the glove box. I think all those little touches look really nice. And again, you can get some cabins that are more contrasty than this one, but if you like something a little bit more simplified, then you go with the all black interior. And the third thing that I really, really like having here on the Forester is this smart rear view mirror camera. This thing is awesome. I love having it, and I really wish that all vehicles had one because it makes so much sense. We've already got cameras everywhere. Why not just pipe it into the rear view mirror? That way, if you have kids in the back seat or a lot of large boxes and things like that, you'll still get clear visibility out the back windshield without the need for kind of looking over or having people duck down. It's just so much smarter to have that, especially because you can switch between the different views. So it makes it really practical as well. One other thing they added that I really like here for 2025 is that 360-degree camera system. I think the camera quality is a little bit improved from what I can tell. That may be thanks to Toyota, who knows. But having that 360 camera for parking, getting out of tight spaces, seeing what's around the vehicle is super clutch, and I'm glad they added that. Now, 3 things I don't like as much. I already mentioned I'm not a big fan of some of the elements of the redesign. The front fascia is a little meh to me. The rear is a little meh. They could have done more. They could have pushed the envelope a little bit more. Now, there are a lot of accents I mentioned that I like, so it's not all bad, but I feel like they could have just pushed it a little bit more. Similarly, for number 2, again, that acceleration, they could have done more. Unfortunately, they're kind of limited on what engines they actually have, so it's not like you can just pop the 2.5 liter and just turn the horsepower up to 11, right? You could either introduce a new engine or you could just give us the 2.4 liter turbo in the Forester. I don't understand why it's that hard. Put it in the Sport, put it in the Wilderness, give it to us as an option. I don't understand it. And then finally, this isn't like a 2025 specific thing, but again, they could have fixed it and they didn't, and that is this screen. It's still really laggy. It still just doesn't function smoothly, and if you're looking for like the nicest, safest, fastest, snappiest infotainment system, this one is not for you. It does look all right, and there's some nice features in there, it just doesn't function that well. But now that we're hopping here on the highway, we can get a highway DB test here, try out our lane centering and adaptive cruise control. We're about 71 dB, 72 dB on the highway. We'll go ahead and turn on our adaptive cruise. Got our lane centering going as well. We're at 65 right now. We'll crank that up just a little bit so we can see how that system kind of keeps you away from the car in front of you. So you can kind of feel it lock in and the lights turn on, the steering wheel turns green here, and we are now using the lane centering. But you do kind of have to keep your hands on the wheel, otherwise it will yell at you. Blind spot monitoring showing up there. And I mean, it's keeping us really far away, so we can lower this gap distance a little bit, speed up. And you can see the wheel turning, just subtly, keeping us in the center of the lane. And honestly, lane centering does really well. It's not a semi-autonomous driving system. It was yelling me to keep my eyes on the road. I'm good, I can see. I was just glancing over to talk to you guys. It's not a semi-autonomous driving system. I wish it was. I wish Subaru had something like what Toyota has with their lane tracing and advanced adaptive cruise, all that kind of stuff. It just doesn't have anything that effective. I wish they'd borrow that, because that would be one of the things that I think would be beneficial for them to steal from their partnership with Toyota, but unfortunately we don't have it yet. So there's that on the highway. Now that we are at idle, we'll turn the AC off. I'll turn my ventilated seat off for a second so we get the quietest possible cabin, and then we'll do a DB test here. It's about 47 dB with the engine running, at completely idle when the engine's off. A 44 dB, does that make sense? And then while we're at city speeds here, we can also get a dB test. About 65 dB at city speed, so that's pretty loud. I was actually reading a little bit about the 2025 Forester, and it was said that they kind of beefed up the noise canceling a little bit, the windows and the glass and some of the materials to make it a little bit more sound resistant, and honestly it doesn't sound like it to me. It sounds the same as previous generation models. I'm not sure about that claim. Now, is this power steering this massive improvement? No. But is it a little bit better? I think so. I think it does have just a hair bit better responsiveness and feel, just a little bit sportier than last year. Nothing crazy. If you're going into it thinking, oh, this is going to drive and feel like the WRX now because it has some common components, no, it's not like that. Don't expect that, but a little bit better. So should you buy this top of the line touring model at about $42,000, $43,000? It's going to be the most expensive one, obviously. It has some standard features that you just can't get on any other model. So if these features I'm about to tell you are that important to you, then yeah, you're going to have to get a touring. If not, I would say get a Sport. I think the Sport looks better personally, completely personal preference, or get a Limited, which is going to be a little bit lower priced, and you can option on the things that you really like. Now, some of these you can't option on, but you get it. You're going to lose some features if you go with the Limited. You can still get a really nice standard feature set. So if you absolutely have to have the 360-degree camera system, the 19-inch wheels, the leather-wrapped shift knob, the position memory seats, built-in navigation, the black mirror caps, and the low-profile roof rails, then yeah, get a Touring. If those things don't really matter to you as much, go with a Limited or a Sport even. And again, I'm going to be taking a look at all the different trim levels on this channel. So if you want to know everything there is to know about the Sport trim and the Limited trim, hit subscribe because those videos will be coming soon. So thanks so much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, drop a like. Let me know down in the comments what you think about this 2025 Forester redesign, refresh, whatever you want to call it. I'd love to talk about it down in the comments. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button to be among the first to see every single new video the second I hit publish. We'll see you in the next one.